Every night, at exactly 11:11 p.m., her phone would light up. The first time it happened, Sophia almost ignored it. Unknown number, no name, just a message. You don't deserve what happened to you. She stared at the screen for a long time, her chest tightening. It had been 3 weeks since the breakup, 3 weeks since her world had been dismantled with careful cruelty and quiet betrayal. No one had spoken to her like that since. Not with that kind of certainty. She didn't reply. The next night, 11:11 p.m. again, you are allowed to grieve, but don't confuse grief with your worth. This time, she typed back, "Who is this?" No response. The message kept coming. Each night, the words arrived like clockwork, gentle, precise, almost knowing. You smile with your eyes even when you think you don't. Stop reading old chats, the only reopen wounds that are trying to close. Eat something warm today. You've been skipping meals. That one made her freeze. How would anyone know that? Her friends had stopped checking in as often. Life had moved on for them. But this stranger, this invisible presence, spoke as though he was sitting in the quiet corners of her life, watching her fall apart and slowly guiding her back together. She began to wait for 11:11. It became ritual. She would sit on her bed, lights dimmed, heart strangely expectant, and when the message came, she would read it slowly, twice, sometimes 3 times, letting it settle into places inside her that had been aching for softness. Weeks passed, her replies grew longer. I don't feel like myself anymore. Some days are harder than others. I wish I could thank you properly. Still, no answers, just more messages. But something was changing. She started eating again, started stepping outside, started laughing, small, hesitant sounds that surprised even her. Whoever he was bringing her back to life. One night, she broke the pattern. At 10:58 p.m., she sent, "Please, just tell me your name." The minutes stretched. 11:11 came, her phone buzzed, but this time, the message was different. Mark. She sat up, her heart quickened. "Mark, why are you doing this?" There was a long pause, longer than usual. Then, "Because I don't have time not to." A chill slipped down her spine. What does that mean? No reply that night. The next day felt heavy. At 11:11, the message came again. "I'm at St. Catherine's Hospital." Her breath caught. Ward C, if you want answers. Hospitals always smelt the same, sterile, quiet, filled with unspoken fears. Sophia hesitated outside Ward C, her fingers trembling slightly as she pushed the door open. He wasn't what she expected. Mark looked ordinary, too ordinary for someone who had carried her through her darkest nights. He lay on the bed, pale but alert, eyes soft and searching. When he saw her, he smiled, like he already knew her. Sophia. Her name sounded different in his voice, gentler, like something fragile he didn't want to break. "You've been texting me?" she asked, her voice barely steady. He nodded. Silence filled the space between them. "Why?" she whispered. Mark exhaled slowly, glancing at the window before returning his gaze to her. "I used to sit near your apartment," he said. "There's a small bench across the street. I'd go there after my appointments just to think." Her brows furrowed. "I noticed you," he continued. Not in a strange way, he added quickly, a faint smile touching his lips. "You just looked like someone carrying too much alone." Sophia's chest tightened. "I never planned to reach out," he said. "But one night, you were crying and I thought." He paused, swallowing. "I thought, if I'm running out of time, maybe I can give some of it to someone who needs it more." Her throat burned. "Running out of time?" She repeated softly. He held her gaze. Stage 4. The words landed like a quiet explosion. "Days," he added gently. "Maybe a week, if I'm lucky." Sophia took a step back, shaking her head. "No, no, that doesn't." "I didn't tell you because it would have changed everything," he said. "And I didn't want pity. I just wanted to help." Tears blurred her vision. "You helped me," she whispered. "More than you know." He smiled again, tired but genuine. I know, he said softly. I can see it. She came back the next day, and the next. They talked, really talked, about everything her heartbreak, his fears, the strange beauty of borrowed time. For the first time in weeks, her laughter came easily, and for the first time in a long time, Mark looked alive. On the fourth day, at 11:11 p.m., her phone buzzed. She frowned. Mark was asleep just a few feet away. Slowly, she picked up the phone. You're going to be okay. Her breath hitched. She turned to him. He was still, peaceful, too still. The machines had already gone silent. Days later, Sophia sat on that same bench across from her apartment. The world moved like it always did. Cars passing, people talking, life continuing without pause. Her phone buzzed. Her heart stopped. Hands shaking, she opened the message. Unknown number. Live well. That's how you thank me. A tear slipped down her cheek, but she smiled. Not the broken kind, a real one. And for the first time, she didn't feel alone.